Welcome to the Tribe Digital Marketing Series. Today, I'm joined by a new member of the LeadMD Tribe, Erica Sante, who is a strategist on our revenue operations team. Erica, thank you for joining.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You are quite welcome. So this is good. I need to get to know you a little bit as well as everybody else. So tell us, what do you
Sure.
love about marketing?
Good question. Yeah. I would guess I would have to say, the fast pace in which the industry, particularly MarTech, moves. And, you're just sort of never done learning and growing. And there's just always something new, the technology or strategic ways to stay in front of your customer. It's always sort of evolving.
So always something new, like by the chief MarTech infographic now, or super graphic having 500 million technologies on it, something like that.
Something like that. But consumer behavior is changing always too, right? And then we have, global events like the one we're facing right now, right? That
Yeah.
throw curveballs to us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of global events and curveballs, what are you seeing that's working particularly well for folks as they're trying to pivot the ever-changing environment?
That's a great question too. So I think the sort of first thing that comes to mind is kind of actually what I'm sort of seeing a little bit of, but I think I could see more of is pivoting in general, right?
Okay.
Not looking at this as a business as usual, climate, right? And understanding that, we all have, being asked to do more with less. And we're in a place where, this has conceivably really changed every industry in some way.
Right.
So as we, compete for attention spans for our clients and our customers, we have to remember that, our competitors are also, right, having to come up with new and creative ways to do that as well.
Yeah.
So I think, pivoting to that, to being fiercely competitive, if you weren't already doing that, is really the name of the game right now.
Well, that's interesting. So you're a marketer yourself, but you're also a consumer.
Yes.
So what does a pivot feel like to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, it's being really relevant to my life, right?
Okay. I like
Being,
that.
showing me that you're really a necessity, or you're improving, my life in some way. I can't sort of live without you, or I can do, I can move faster or move, more efficiently or better with you.
So it's an interesting concept when we just joked about the marketing technology landscape, the ever growing marketing technology landscape. It's hard for me to think that every single one of those is a necessity for my life to improve my life. Any predictions on what may be the fallout of all of this on that landscape?
I think it may be a little early for that, but
Okay.
I think that some of our core technologies that we're operating on now, our marketing automation technology, our
Mm-hmm.
our CRM technology, and our measurement, right, and our
Right.
data and measurement technology are going to be some core ones that, if you don't have them already, they are going to be tools that will bring efficiency to your teams, right, in the climate of doing moving a little faster and maybe with
Right.
less firepower.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to see a consolidation trend here over the next couple of years. You've seen a lot of, in my opinion, spin-offs of technologies that were scratching little itches that something else didn't solve for. So you get this little technology that scratches that itch, and then you get this Frankenstack, right? How much shrinkage are we going to see where they buy up that customer base and maybe fill that gap with that piece of technology somewhere else? Just my own little thoughts on
Yeah, fair point.
the topic.
I'm sure there will be either consolidation or evolution of these technologies for sure. In a way to stay, sort of meaningful, for the client, as we've been discussing.
Yeah. How much, not trying to put you on the spot too much here. I know I told you I'd only ask two questions, but I'm curious about a few things. So you mentioned core technologies, marketing automation, CRM, and measurement. How can those things help people better position and better pivot?
Sure. Yeah. Well, so one way that your marketing automation, well, really one way that all three tools can help you at the same time,
Yeah.
are really to help you get honest about what's working and what's not working, and to really create alignment between marketing and sales. Right. So if you are not in lockstep with your sales team right now, there's no time like the present to kind of get there. Kind of rowing in the same direction is really going to serve you really well in this climate. I mean, if you think about some of the silos that can exist, and
Yeah.
some of the ways in which you may not be sure, what does a qualified lead look like, and
Sure.
when do I hand it off, and to whom, and and then what was the result of that, right? Was it a quality lead? Where did it net out? Was it an opportunity? So some of those, conversations, getting more transparent, and using technology to automate some of those processes, right?
Yeah.
So we're not having a mad dash to kind of, scramble to hand off those leads.
Yeah. That's super interesting because I do feel like one of the positive fallouts of all of this is people looking at breaking down silos just so they can understand more.
Yes, in so many ways, right? It's one of those global events where the sort of the noise clears.
Yeah.
You have to zero in on what's important really quickly,
Yeah.
and you have to really look for shortcuts or cheats or ways to really effectively get to your buyer and shepherd them through the buying process.
I do. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Well, I appreciate all your insights. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
You're
It
welcome.
was a great chat.